they shared the same cup. Everybody at the table that was taking part of the Lord's Supper or Passover or communion drunk from the same cup. And the scripture says that while they are drinking and Jesus is getting ready to pass the cup in ceremony fashion, he gives them some more information. This is a little bit further down in Luke. It says, and it is to the one that I will give this piece of bread to will be the same one that's going to betray me. He's at the table with his disciples. Someone say disciples. Who are his disciples? These are 12 men that have been walking with Jesus for 3 years. They have seen everything that's good and bad about Jesus, and they still want to rock with him. They are at the table. Somebody say the table. They are at the table. Jesus is passing the communion. He's passing the wine, and then he's passing the bread. And he says that the first one that I give this to is going to be the one that's going to betray me. And the one that's sitting next to Jesus is a man by the name of Judas. Say Judas. Now, I got bothered by this, and this is why I got bothered. Because, wait a minute, you already knew Judas was going to betray you. Before you got to the table, you already knew that Judas was going to betray you. And yet you still allowed him to sit at the table and eat with you. I had to dig in that just a little bit deeper. Because Jesus, now catch this, this is going to get just a little deep for a moment, and then I'm going to come out of it. But Jesus is both all God and he's all man. Say all God, all man. That is, he's not just a man. At the same time, he's God. And every now and then in the scriptures, you will see Jesus wrestling with his God self and his humanity. I'll prove it to you. You remember that when Jesus met the woman at the well, he tells her that if you knew who was in front of you, you would drink of me and you would never thirst again. Now, if you are the drink that the woman can drink to never thirst, then why would you be on the cross dying and then say, I thirst? Come here, come here. On the cross, watch this, was his humanity. But at the well was his divinity. Y'all still here? I'll give you another. Jesus says, or rather, Jesus spends a lot of his time in the scripture eating at folks' house. That would almost make me start to think that Jesus must have been a colored brother. Y'all ain't saying nothing in here. Because wherever there is food, we are showing up on the scene. So Jesus is always eating at other folks' house. And then even in the text right here, he passing bread. But then there's a scripture that says, Jesus says, I am the bread of life. Hold up a minute. If you the bread of life, then how you get hungry? Why y'all looking at me like the Bible don't give you questions like that sometimes? I say now, if you are bread from heaven and you get hungry, what's up with that? Jesus reminded me that I am all God and I am all man at the same time. Now, though my divinity knew that Judas would betray me, my humanity was ignorant of the fact. Come here, I'm coming right down your aisle. Could it be that God has divinely allowed some people in your life to betray you just so he can get you by himself? Y'all quiet in here, y'all quiet. I know you crying over some people that have left you, but could it be God orchestrated them to leave so that he can get you alone to develop you into the man or the woman of God that you should be? Touch your neighbor just for the first time and say, neighbor, it was divinely orchestrated. It was divinely orchestrated that sometimes the people that we publicly push are the same people that privately pull us down.